It was a day like many others in the Presidio of San Francisco. Clouds blocking the sun for minutes at a time and a cool breeze coming in off the ocean. Weekend traffic was piling up over the Golden Gate Bridge, and tourists were slowly filling in the nearby Baker Beach. We had lived in this small enclave for 5 years, and it was a wonderful home. However, with 2 kids, a far too small apartment, no relief from the exorbitant home and cost of living, it was time to move back to Minnesota and our adopted hometown of St. Paul. We spent the better half of a week packing everything but the beds into a large semi-trailer that would leave first thing the next morning. An extended period of sunshine in the city was rare for the summer, so we took advantage and went down to one of the small children's parks just a few steps from our apartment. The kids, 2.5 and 6, assumed their regular patterns of play on the slides, swings, and rocker, without a care in the world. My wife and I sat at the parent bench near the back of the park. These were the few moments we had to talk. I worked long hours downtown, and my wife had gone back to her regular shifts as a social worker, becoming equally busy. Our conversation naturally skewed toward nostalgia of the past 5 years, things we would miss, things we'd not miss, and the 2,000-mile drive we would start early the next morning. It was a very exciting time, filled with mixed emotions. We moved to San Francisco for 2 reasons: a fantastic job and an opportunity to get a fresh start. The city was so different from any place we'd ever lived. There were lovely cold-water beaches, interesting neighborhoods, world-class parks, hiking, an amazing wine country, and so many weekend trip options. Inversely, it was expensive. Parking was a nightmare. My short commute to work took nearly an hour each way. Then the city was often overrun with selfie-taking and quite rude tourists. Above all the good and bad, the thing we missed the most is the friends we made. Though challenging at first, we met some of the most interesting and thoughtful people, and many of them are still our friends today. They were from places like France, India, Finland, Colorado, New York, Michigan, and Ohio. They were our soul sisters and brothers, our adopted family that we would spend many holidays with. Our extended stay in San Francisco was a great run, but we were very much looking forward to our recently purchased dream house on a lake in Minnesota. Kids played themselves out, and we returned to the apartment. I remember opening the door and seeing the almost empty place. It reminded me of when we first moved in. At the time, we only had a 1-year-old daughter, hardly any furniture. We were so excited to be in a new and interesting place. Now the place looks so lonely, as if the life were sucked out of it and all that was left was memories. The thought of spending another 24 hours there seemed very depressing. On the other hand, we had an epic 5-day journey ahead of us that would include the Sierra Nevada mountains, deserts of Nevada and Utah, a stay in the lovely mountain town of Park City, and the world-famous Black Hills of South Dakota. After very little deliberation, I packed the beds and remaining odds and ends. We locked the trailer, gassed the car, grabbed a quick lunch, and headed across the Bay Bridge and into the vast American West toward our new home. Years later, we still think about our time in California. We came as a family of 2 lost souls with an adorable baby and returned a well-traveled 4-pack of adventure seekers. San Francisco is a wonderful and flawed place. She's filled with good people from all over the world, endless opportunities, and no parking.